adventurers and these sort of people who cycle around the world, in my head, they were like astronauts. I didn't really dream of being an astronaut as a kid. Properly, of course, I liked the idea of it. But if you had sat me down and go, well, if you want to be an astronaut, you need to be very good at maths and have good eyesight and blah, 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 I would have been like, yeah, well, that's just not going to be me. And it was the same thing for cycling around the world. It was only when I turned 30 that I realized, actually, maybe I could cycle around the world. Like, what's actually stopping me? And it's when I sort of actually sat down and thought of it practically, what it would take to cycle around the world. Turns out it's a lot easier than you think. There's just something sort of magical about human-powered journeys. The fact that you can, with your own legs or arms or whatever, get, across continents. That, for me, is the purest form of travel, when you're doing it completely human-powered. When you're actually outside in the elements, freezing your nuts off, that's when you realize how A, amazing the human body is, and B, the amazing world we live in. Traveling to all these places I have, by actually going to the Amazon jungle and seeing the deforestation, you're actually going, I now want to make a little bit more of an effort and be a bit more conscious of my own energy and my own consumption and just being a bit more thoughtful to the environment. I've recently gone for an electric car because I think it's the way forward. I think it is. Not 100% certain, but it's got to be better than burning fuel. I think we're past the early adopters. I think in the 80s and 90s, if you were sort of thinking, I want an electric car, you really were considered a bit weird. Whereas now, all of a sudden, you can drive 400 miles in an electric car. And, we went months, I think, last summer without burning coal. Something I've learned through doing these world records and pushing myself is just how efficient the human body is. It's amazing, you can just eat something that grew out of the ground and then, breathe some air, which is all around us, and get a bit of sunshine, get a bit of warmth, which somehow turned it into energy, propelled my legs, got me up the hills, and got me around the whole world. The human body is phenomenal, and there must be a way that we could make machines as efficient as the human body. I really think we're right in the middle of a huge shift towards more sustainable energy. We have these huge wind farms and solar fields, and that can only be a good thing. But what we need, all of us, is to go, yes, it is possible. Because I think there's often a little bit of a tendency for people to go, oh, well, it's not possible, and it's still bad. And I think we really need to stop chastising people who are trying, but maybe aren't perfect in every way. And I'm one of them. You're just halting your own progress. Whereas if we all just said, okay, let's see what is possible, then we could all look forward and go, wow, actually, it's probably achievable a lot sooner than we think.